So, hi. I already recorded this, but I had some fucky audio settings to say the least, and it is 4:17 a.m. And I didn't want to make my staying up late have been for nothing. So, I'm re-recording my first impressions, even though I've already looked at these. This is kind of what I did with the Blade Lineage Rousseau stuff, or the Blade Lineage kits in general. I already looked at them first, but I had my first reactions, but the audio sounded terrible. So, hopefully, this time, everything will be fine. First of all, this thing is insane. Wingbeat Ishmael is the first 2-coin ego, let alone the first 3-coin and more ego. With the Gluttony Fragility, which same turn, so it's probably not going to be all that good. But this ego's super cool. This is the thing I'm probably most excited for, actually, which I did not think would be the case. I actually was least excited for this out of everything, but knowing that it's 2 coins completely changes the game. Allowing for like 2-coin ego is just crazy. I didn't think it would happen, honestly, ever. I thought they would just be stuck with it, because how does this work if you lose a clash, right? That's been the big question. But the cool thing is that even if you do win or do lose one clash, you still have that second coin, which this is the one you care about way more, I think. Healing X% of max HP is also good, because you want this for the healing. If this skill's healing, yeah, because you also heal on this one, because this is max HP. This is by damage dealt. And you also want it for the passive, because if the unit is not at max HP, you heal more, so you just want more hits in general. But if this can be like a 3-coin ego, I wonder what the numbers are. That's what I'm so fascinated by. The numbers is also bleed, so I don't think it'll be very much, probably 2. So yeah, super cool ego. The corrosion is also neat. It deals damage to allies. It gains attack weight, which I didn't think would be the case. But this is also pretty unique in the way it works, and has synergy with like Queecliff, because you want to be on lower HP with that guy. The She IDs to an extent. It's a shame it says other allies, since if you could self-damage with She Ishmael with this, that would be pretty cool. Probably not worth it, of course, like how Ardor Blossom Star isn't worth it to like corrode with that. That's just like kind of a waste. You'd rather just take hits. Especially because this is a healing ego, because you heal yourself on Tail's hit. But it's a neat corrosion, but the awakening is the main thing. This is super, super cool. Then Sanguine Desire, which is a WoW ego, which, first of all, I did not expect this. I expected another He, and I was hoping for a Zayn secretly, but knowing the power level of the Wingbeat Ishmael, because that's the one I thought would be Zayn, if any of them, but I'm a sucker for Zayn ego. So this one gains coin power, which is not something ego does, like, at all. They're treating ego more like regular skills, which I think is good, because it opens up more design opportunities. And it has the thing from Ruina where you don't lose bleed count for the turn, which is cool. And it's combat start, so you don't need to worry about anything. You don't need to be like, oh, Rodian's not going first, damn it, my bleed count's gonna fall off. It's just combat start, straight up. Which, bleed is still gonna have its problems where like you're relying on the enemy of rolling enough coins, but now, if they are rolling a ton of coins, this is fantastic. And it has the same thing as binds Heathcliff and binds Otis, where you don't lose all the SP, I imagine. It's like 10 SP and then 10, 10, 10. Based on Lust Resonance, which makes sense because that's the bleed affinity, and then has a cooldown kill effect, which you'll probably never see happen, but if you do, then you can kill the entire field, which is pretty funny. I doubt this will be attack weight, actually, but if it is, then cool. And I say that because the corrosion gains more attack weight, and we need more single target ego in the game, like in general. So, and there's no way Wingbeat Ishmael is attack weight. There's just no shot. One thing I am disappointed by is that the bleed count is only on the corrosion instead of also on the awakening. I get why, because you don't lose bleed count on combat start, but it would have been nice to have some kind of additional stuff for it, but maybe this will be a ton of bleed count and maybe worth it, but I feel like this is almost always better. And then the passive is somewhat similar to Regret Merceau, where they're limiting you on how much doubling bleed you can do. Kurkuma Rodian is the best one for this, obviously, because you inflict 12 bleed on the skill 2 and then 10 times 2 on the skill 3 when you crit. So that is quite a lot of bleed potency, but Rodian still doesn't have just a great bleed option. As in, Kurokuma Rodian has no count, which kind of sucks. This makes up for it, of course. I hope this is just, if this is Mono Lust, then great. But I just hope I hope Kurokuma Rodia kind of gets helped out by this ego, but she still needs help in the poise department to actually crit for the skill 3. So hopefully there's a way you can make this work, which I imagine there will be. Let's talk about the big one. Philip Sinclair is here. He has 2 modes. He has the volatile ego state, which happens when he's at 45 SP. He consumes SP to enter it. The waxen Pinean state, which you probably can barely see on the screen right there. It's kind of small, I'm sorry. I'll probably zoom in editing, which I don't know how much of that I'll be able to do when I'm absolutely exhausted. This reuses a coin, which I honestly thought he would just have 2 sets of skills. But the way they've done it here is fine. I would have kind of liked 2 separate skills, but that'd be way too much feature creep. Sunset Blade is attack weight when you're in volatile ego state. For some reason, I could not have expected that at all. And it's a bunch of burn count. Stigmatize is a bunch of burn, but you only use that when you're in your Babby formy, which you won't be too often, considering 45 SP is a really easy conditional. And then Blazing Strike is just a huge amount of damage on a single coin. Assumedly, we don't really know, but it's based on Wrath Resonance, which means the Leo team is going to be good because Leo Rodian wants Wrath Resonance as well. Defensive skill is probably the thing I'm most disappointed by in this kit, because it's just kind of lame. It works well with a passive and Volatile Passion, where if you have a defensive skill chain to inflict burn, which you get Volatile Passion whenever you're in the ego state, which makes you lose SP, and you lose the ego state when you're below 0 SP. So you're on a timer, and it's constantly going down. So, which it also triggers if 2+ allies are defeated in the same turn, which, haha, it's pretty funny. He also just gains coin power based on his SP, and more at 45 SP, which is just kind of stupid. Like, he did not need that, probably. We'll see based on his numbers, but that seems ridiculous. He also just recovers from stagger for free. Like, there's no downside to that. You just recover from stagger. Like, what the hell, right? That's very silly. And then the support passive is kind of whatever. This is interesting phrasing. They never used this phrasing before, but they use something similar on BL Faust support passive, but the number 1 center to be deployed, not the first center to be deployed, number 1. It's very bizarre phrasing, but it's semantics ultimately. All you need to know is that he has an attack weight skill with 3 coins, and he gains coin power based on SP, so he's probably going to be really fucking good. Like, really fucking good. But we'll just have to see how much the SP loss is, because if there's too much SP loss, then you just won't be hitting heads, right? Which is gonna be a problem. Obviously on Clash Win, he will heal SP on Blazing Strike, but if the floor is, like, not that great, which, to be fair, Blazing Strike is a skill that had a very high floor in Runa, but you can be losing out on a lot of damage if the SP loss is too much. So I don't know. I think he might end up very interesting and very reliant on SP healing ego, which we have a lot of options for, obviously. He does fuel Fluid Sac, so you can do that, of course. You'll probably need a little bit of help in the Lust department, but that's in no shortage, so that's not a problem at all. Moving on from the kits, though, there's probably more I could say, but my first impressions probably was more rambling, but this is a better overview in a sense. There's also the patch notes, which don't really say much, but the actual Walpurgis event is going to be fighting Fairy Festival, which I guess that's what this guy looks like. I never knew that. I played LobCorp, but that is one ugly motherfucker. And they're bringing back missions, which, Project Moon, please, just, I beg you, talk to me, email me. My business email is in my channel description. You shoot me an email, I will design missions for Railway 4. Like, it's frustrating that this is the only content they seem to want to do missions for, because it's such a good idea. It gives good replayability for good rewards. When Railway is usually just a one and done thing, this is something you redo and it's, like, not that interesting, honestly. It's just probably going to be one boss fight. It'll be fun the first time, and getting the missions will be good, but Railway is so much more possibility, and it's frustrating that it's not a thing yet. It might be for Railway 4, but I don't have any good hopes, so I'm hoping that it happens eventually. Then there's the Mirror Dungeon changes, which there's a whole bunch that I could go through. I'm gonna try and keep this short, though. I'm sorry. This I know my ranting is probably not even comprehensible, but I'm trying my best. So no more status-based Ego Gift re-rolling. There's no more re-rolling in general at the start of Mirror Dungeons. It's no longer normal and hard. It's something Italian. Simulation and Ritornello. I don't know why, but cool, I guess. I don't know why they're doing this too, because if you do 3 runs, you get 250 instead of 225. But you could just do one hard run, claim all the weekly bonuses at once, and then do one normal run, which takes way less time and gives you more, because that's 250. Unless they've adjusted normal Battle Pass XP, which would be insanely stupid. And normal takes more floors. So I'm a little concerned in terms of boxes efficiency being worse for this Mirror Dungeon, but floor themes are a huge improvement over the current system, because you can choose what boss you want to go to, and that's just such a huge quality of life improvement. To be cleaved, I have no clue what abnormality this is. I assume, well, is that Artablossomoth? Oh yeah, that's Artablossomoth. Gossi. Is that Gossi? That's definitely Artablossomoth. Is that Phalanxern? Huh. I don't know why there's swords around it. That might just be for thematics. I don't know. But floor themes are really cool, because you can just skip bosses that are lame and boring, like cyborgs. More events is really cool. I'm a big fan of that, because like everyone knows all of the event checks, like what do you do to get the right things. So changing that up is really good. 92 more Ego Gifts is way more than I expected. Mounting Trials is going to be more like the hard mode. Yeah. I think this MD is going to be way better than MD3, because there's just double the gifts. And there's all these and all these cool IDs. And Ego, this especially, is insane. 2 Ego, 2 coin Ego, more reuse coin. I don't know what else to say. I am in a manic state, and I'm very tired. But thank you for watching. I guess this is frantic. I apologize, but I'll probably be streaming when Walpurgisnacht comes around on May 1st for me at 8 p.m. So I'll make a further announcement about that once I get it set in stone. But yeah, I am very excited for this. I think this will be really, really great. This video ends now.